This is SkyTour News for the week of August 19th to the 26th. I'm Amanda Curran. August 23, 1966. Lunar Orbiter 1 takes its first photograph of Earth from the Moon. The Lunar Orbiter 1 was an unmanned robotic spacecraft and part of the Lunar Orbiter program and was the first American spacecraft to orbit the Moon. It was designed primarily to photograph smooth areas of the lunar surface for selection and verification of safe landing sites for the Surveyor and Apollo missions. The spacecraft acquired photographic data from August 18th to the 29th, 1966, and on August 23rd, the first image ever of the Earth from a distance of the Moon was taken. A second such image was taken 2 days later on August 25th. A total of 42 high-resolution and 187 medium-resolution frames were taken and transmitted to Earth, covering over 5 million square kilometers of the Moon's surface, accomplishing about 75% of the intended mission, although a number of the early high-resolution photos showed severe smearing. The spacecraft was tracked until it impacted the lunar surface on command on the Moon's far side on October 29, 1966, on its 577th orbit of the Moon. August 21, 1972. U.S. Orbiting Astronomy Observation Copernicus is launched. The Orbiting Astronomical Observatory satellites were a series of 4 American space observatories launched by NASA between 1966 and 1972, which provided the first high-quality observations of many objects in ultraviolet light. Although 2 OAO missions were failures, the success of the other 2 increased awareness in the astronomical community of the benefits of space-based observations and led to the instigation of the Hubble Space Telescope. OAO-3 was launched on the 21st of August 1972 and proved to be the most successful of the OAO missions. It was a collaborative effort between NASA and the UK Science Research Council and carried an X-ray detector built by the University College London's Mullard Space Science Laboratory, in addition to an 80-centimeter UV telescope built by Princeton University. After its launch, it was nicknamed Copernicus to mark the 500th anniversary of the birth of Nicholas Copernicus. Copernicus operated until February of 1981 and returned high-resolution spectra of hundreds of stars along with extensive X-ray observations. Among the significant discoveries made by Copernicus were the discovery of several long-period pulsars with rotation times of many minutes instead of the more typical seconds or less. August 21, 1989. Voyager 2 begins a flyby of the planet Neptune. Launched by NASA on August 20, 1977, its mission was to study the outer planets, with the primary mission ended with the exploration of the Neptunian systems on October 2, 1989, having visited the Uranium systems in 1986, the Saturnian systems in 1981, and the Jovian system in 1979. Voyager 2 is now in an extended mission to study the outer reaches of the solar system and has been operating for 41 years and counting as of this recording, and still remains in contact through the Deep Space Network. Voyager 2 is the 4th of 5 spacecraft to achieve the escape velocity that will allow them to leave the solar system, and is expected to provide the first direct measurements of the density and temperature of the interstellar plasma, which leads to August 22nd. The first complete ring around Neptune is confirmed. The first mention of rings around Neptune dates back to 1846, when William Lasalle, the discoverer of Neptune's largest moon, Triton, thought he had seen a ring around the planet. However, his claim was never confirmed, and it is likely that it was an observational artifact. The first reliable detection of a ring was made in 1968 by stellar occultation, although that result would go unnoticed until 1977, when the rings of Uranus were discovered. In the 1980s, significant occultations were rarer for Neptune than Uranus. However, ground-based results were inconclusive. The Voyager 2 spacecraft made the definitive discovery of the Neptunian rings during its flyby of Neptune in 1989, passing as close as 3,080 miles above the planet's atmosphere on August 25th. It confirmed that occasional occultation events observed before were indeed caused by the arcs within the atom's ring, the furthest of the 5 rings of Neptune. August 24, 2006. Pluto gets demoted. During the 26th General Assembly of the International Astronomy Union, the Council defined planet and demoted Pluto to the status of dwarf planet more than 70 years after its discovery. The AIU members gathered and agreed that a planet is defined as a celestial body that is in orbit around the Sun, has a significant mass for self-gravity to overcome rigid body forces so that it assumes a hydrostatic equilibrium or nearly round shape, and has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. A new distinct class of objects called dwarf planets was also decided. It was agreed that planets and dwarf planets are two distinct classes of objects. The first members of the dwarf planet category are Ceres, Pluto, and 2003 UB313, which was the temporary name at the time. The AIU further resolved that Pluto is a dwarf planet by the above definition and is recognized as a prototype of a new category of trans-Neptunian objects. This is SkyTour News. I'm Amanda.